Business is business. Talking that bread, let me go ahead make a sandwich. When it's time to do work, let me extend the hammer.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jones at 4K, bringing you guys another Forza Horizon 5 drift tune and build video. Today we got the 2005 Vauxhall Monaro, and with this build today, I wanted to do more of a pro style setup, the way I would tune like my competition cars, my tandem cars. You know, they're still good for points. You know, there's no difference. You can drive any of my cars and do it, but you know, I wanted to focus a little bit more. You guys wanted to see some of my personal cars, so I'm gonna pull a couple out over the next couple of videos from my personal collection, let you guys see, you know, how I set them up, which there's not too much of a difference because I set up most of my drift cars anyway to like be tandem cars. I just use them for, you know, drift zones. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We're gonna dive right into it. All right, now before we get started, guys, I do want to say, if you guys have a Discord, make sure you guys, you know, add me on Discord, man. A lot of you guys have a lot of questions. You want to talk about cars and this and this and this and how I build my cars and how I tune my cars. Be sure to add me on Discord. The link is in the description below. You know, just add me in Discord, join my Discord server. It's not really like a dedicated server. It's just a server where all my friends and a lot of people come to network. We hang out, you know, we talk car stuff, we talk whatever. But a lot of you guys have a lot of questions and you message me on Xbox. I don't really use the Xbox app that much, so I don't really see a lot of those messages, and I'm not ignoring nobody. I don't use the Xbox app that much, but they do have Discord for the Xbox as well, if you guys didn't know that. So, you know, make sure you download Discord on your Xbox, add your boy, and we can talk about it. But diving into the build of this car. For the motor swap, now I did test out a couple motors. I did test out a couple motors, but I like the stock motor. The stock motor is what we went with. We left the car rear wheel drive, and you guys know I'm big on superchargers over turbos, so we have the supercharger on it. For the clutch, we have the race clutch. We have the 4-speed drift transmission. We have a race driveline, and we also have the drift diff. Under platform and handling, we have the race brakes, drift springs and dampers. We have the race front and race rear roll bars. We have a race roll cage, and we have a race weight reduction. On the aero and appearance, I didn't change anything. I left it stock for the front bumper and stock for the rear wing. If you wanted to save weight, you can also do this, take off the wing to save weight, but I like the wing look on it. For the tires and the rims, I have the drift tire compound. Now, before we continue, I will say, like, I'm back and forth on the drift tire compound and like the semi slicks. Like the drift tire compound is really, really good. Like, don't get me wrong, but it don't feel like it has enough grip. Like, they don't feel grippy at all. But you know, the semi slicks, sometimes the semi slicks feel over grippy. They feel too grippy, so you have to add, you know, a bunch of horsepower or use a small tire. So I go with the drift compound because it's like a middle ground. You know, it's not too grippy and it's not too slippery. So we go with the drift tire compound. For the front tire width, we left it stock at 245 in the front, and then on the rear, we went with a 295 in the rear. For the rim size, we have 19s in the rear and 19s in the front. For the rear of choice, I believe it's the multi-piece, and it's the ADV1 ADV8R Track Spec CS. And then for the track width, we have the track width max in the front, and then we have the track width max in the rear. And then for the engine components, we have a race intake, we have a race fuel system, race ignition, we have the race valves, race camshaft, race exhaust, we have the race engine block, race pistons, race supercharger, we have the race flywheel, we have the stock oil and cooling, and then we have the stock, we have no intercooler. Yeah, no intercooler. All right, guess that works. Now diving into the tune of the car. For the tire pressure, we have 28.5, 17.5. For the gearing, we have a 360 final drive, a 231st gear, a 142nd gear, a 115 third, and a 1-to-1 fourth gear. For the alignment setup, which you guys know my alignment, I typically use the same thing. It's the, I like the way it feels. I've been used to it. So for the camber, we have -5 degrees in the front, positive 0.2 degrees camber in the rear. For the toe, I'm running a little bit more toe than I normally do at 0.7 positive toe out. And then on the rear, we're running -1.0 degrees toe in. For the front caster angle, I'm running 3.2 degrees caster angle. For the roll bars, we have 34.3 in the front and 6.8 in the rear. For the springs, I'm running an 896.4 spring in the front with a 336 wrist spring. And then the ride height, we have it at 7.5 in the front and 7.1 inches in the rear. For the dampener of the car, we have 6.8 front rebound with 6.1 rear rebound. And then for the bump stiffness, we have 3.4 front with 3.0 rear bump stiffness. For the aero, there's no aero on the car, so we can't adjust it. For the braking force, we have 80% brake balance and then 55% braking pressure. And then for the differential, we have 85% acceleration, 49% deceleration. That's the build guide. This is the tune. We're gonna take it out, see how my PrO car does on the mountain. All right, guys, I'm just gonna hit some figure eights here, get my hands warmed up. I haven't played Forza in about a day or so, get a couple of figure eights and go over to the little mini drift zone over there. Let's see if I can hit this drift zone in one go without crashing into the wall. The wall's freaking notorious over here. A little love tap. Okay, well, that was awful. I'm going to the mountain. It's going to make me cry. All right, we done made it to the top of the mountain. We ain't going to waste no time. Let's take it downhill. Hopefully not crash. So it's like 150. That's like 1 mil, 50,000. So that's not, I mean, that's not bad. That's actually really, really good. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't really get a chance to take this down the mountain after I built it and drove it. I was actually just driving around with a bunch of randoms, just trying to get some doors and whatnot. And I didn't think to record those clips. But this car is really nice, man. This is it's one of my favorites. This is actually one of my top like 5 in my personal collection of drift, like I guess quote unquote like pro builds, pro style builds, you know. And I'm trying to get it out here. When I built this car, I built this car with like the thought of like going with like really, really high horsepower and a really, really big tire. But I didn't like the way it felt. Like the car already is kind of somewhat heavy. The wheelbase is really, really nice. And you know, when you drift in this car and when you drift any of like my pro style cars, they all respond different. They drive different than like some of my other builds that you guys have seen on the channel. You know, I still use the same, around the same alignment. You know, I change it up a little bit depending on how the car feels and how the car reacts. But for the most part, I stick around the same, you know, the same. Like I have a couple cars that have less than 5 degrees camber. I have cars that has more than 3 degrees caster, some cars more than 5, some cars max out at 7 degrees caster. It's just, you know, it just depends on how the car responds. Like I don't try to use the same thing on all the cars, but like with the alignment, like since I know how it feels and I know how it makes like the front end feels before you start tuning the suspension and the dampening and stuff like that and the roll bars, I know I can set that alignment and use that alignment, and I can make it work. So, but with this car, like I just had to tweak it just a little bit because when you counter steer, like the car was acting a little weird. The car was acting a little weird when you counter steered, and what it was the way I had the suspension set up with that alignment, it just needed to be tweaked just a little bit. So I was able to adjust the spring slightly and then add a couple clicks of caster to the front end of the car, and it fixed the problem with the car. But the car is really, really good, man. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, man, and you guys want to talk about cars, drifting and tandem and whatnot, join my Discord. The link is in the description. Add me in Discord. We could talk about it, share tunes, whatever you need to know, man. I'm an open book when it comes to these cars. I'm starting to get my voice back, if you guys can't tell. So the flu's starting to work its way out of my house, work its way out of my body. So I'm feeling a little bit better. And I also have another question. How would you guys feel? Like, how, if I was to stream on YouTube, like how many days would you guys, like how many days would be suitable for like not suitable, but more like how many days would be like cool? Like what, 2 days? Cause I stream on Twitch sometimes, but like if I did Forza Horizon 5 on YouTube, like 2 days a week, cause I'm really thinking about coming back, like coming and doing more YouTube streaming. So just let me know down in the comments, guys. I'm just rambling on. Sorry, I miss you guys, and I'm just happy to be back fully to make videos for you guys. But if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, guys. I think we're at like 1,025, 1,020 maybe. You guys are super, super dope, man, and I appreciate you guys. I still want to reach that goal of like 1,100 before the end of the year. I love you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.